Morning all, how are we all doing? Morning Diamond, Big Papa, Seymour, John, everybody. Crisp morning. This is a crisp morning. It's very cold in the UK here. Right, let's kick off with some thumbs up. I'm not like that. Let's kick off with news. Where the hell's my news gone? There it is. Put over there. So today we haven't got anything really. So it's unemployment claims later this afternoon at 1:30. That's it. Nothing exciting. Morning, Eric. So yeah, nothing exciting today. So just normal monetary policy. I was just reading that. Normal market movement, just based on whatever. So yeah, nothing that should really move the market at any specific time. Although we might get a bit of a kick off of that for the US dollar. Tomorrow is the big one. Tomorrow we've got obviously the monetary policy for Japan. We've got the GDP for the UK, which is on an hour ahead of coming on. And then at 1:30, we've got non-farm payroll. So I'll probably stream at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, or 1:20 rather, and we'll come on and we'll do the unemployment figures. Usually goes a bit flat after that. So probably won't do anything much after that. Overnight news, we've had the Japanese GDP released, which was negative. So they are 0 on a forecast of 0.2. So close to going into recession, Japan, but not. So that is a negative yen news event. I was looking at the yen this morning. Doesn't seem to be any real negative off of it. So let's just make sure we've got the right DAX on. Yeah. So there's no real movement. Everything seems to be slightly bullish against the yen. So I'm contemplating possibly trying to find a yen long this morning. It's difficult to tell what the best thing to trade against the yen is at the moment. It's obviously the US is the main one, but I think probably the Swissy this morning. It's already gone, isn't it? Might have gone that. I've had a not a good Feudal Crest account look. Swiss yen. I'm going to take a long on the Swiss yen. This is the one we looked at yesterday for a long, wasn't it? So not at the risk on this, you know. Might go for 1%. Or yeah. Whoa, what's that? Are we likely to come down and take the low of the day? I think not. We go a little bit tighter stop on that. So 0.46 long. Oops, let's get rid of that. Somewhere around there. It's going to go for an ADR, go for the highs. So yeah, Swiss yen long. I want to try and get that risk back. Right. That's it for the news overnight. Morning, Stevie. Okay. So this morning, I've set up the pre-market breakout, the opening range breakout EA for the pre-market to fire 1 minute before the 15-minute pre-market. So we got 4 minutes to the open. So this should hopefully fire 1 minute before, just to try and get those pending orders on before the actual open, because we missed that lovely pre-market one yesterday because of the the market moved so fast. It moved before the actual firing of the EA. Also, we got a nice little potential DAX fill this morning, which they may go for straight out the open. So we might get a nice flurry straight up into this gap. So we'll see if that works. I have never tried it on a 1 minute chart. 1 minute charts are a little bit sketchy with everything, so we'll see what happens. Morning, Freeman. Morning, Andres. Hopefully Swiss yen can touch 100 ADR. I'm long on this for a few days. Are you? All right. Okay. Pull back now. As soon as I got into it, obviously it's having a nice little pullback. Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, mate. I'm not going under the high basically on this, because if it's going to do that, it's going to do that. And if I put a stop down there, there's just no risk reward in it. So there's just no point. So it's a high risk trade, this one. We'll see what happens. I haven't got much risk on that. Right. Morning, Michael. We've only got 20 people in here today. What's going on? Where is everybody? Hopefully they'll show up at some point. Right. So looking at the market as an overall, we've got 2 minutes to the open. ADRs, nothing today. The weeklies we've covered, really. We're on Thursday. The only thing that's got a little bit more extended than normal is the US dollar CAD. So from Monday, it's low. We got up to 235, which is 125 on the average weekly range. RSIs, very little opportunities on the RSIs. The main thing is the US dollar CAD for a short. I think there's a possibility of this coming down today. I was looking at taking a trade on this. I wanted to see what happened this morning at the open and what the first sort of moves were. I might go for a short on this and potentially a gap fill. I don't think we're going to get a move down to here, but I've got a feeling as well we might just do this today, waiting for obviously the unemployment figures tomorrow. I don't think there's going to be too much strong movement unless they leak the unemployment figures. So I just want to watch this morning and see what happens. But we'll go for the RSIs in a minute. There we go. So the pre-market. So we fired 1 minute before the open. So that means that we will definitely get on that 15-minute pre-market. So there's your high, there's your low, there's our orders. So there you go. So the pre-market, just make sure that you don't miss those moves, basically just setting it to 9:59 instead of 10 o'clock. And obviously it fires early. The downside obviously is if we're around about the high, whereas we are at the moment, there's a chance you might get triggered on that, as I just have. Exactly, that's the problem. You get triggered on it before it goes, which, you know, may or may not be the end of the world. Now it's triggering extra orders for some reason. Why is it doing that? Have I got two versions of this running? I think I might have. Okay. That's weird. What have I done there? Why is it triggered two? Oh, of course it will trigger two entries. Yeah, I've got two entries set. Of course I have. Oh, no, I've only set one of them. Okay, so one of those, I know what I've done. One of those is triggered at 9:59 and one of those is triggered at 10. I forgot I've got two entries on my pre-market set, not one. And I only changed one of them. I was like, what? Okay, so there you go. So there's pre-market long. Idiot. Swiss yen is going to react at this level because it's hitting liquidity. I'm waiting for the low of the day. Oh, God. How do you know that? You got insider in the banks. Wish I had your info. I'm pretty sure it's going long today. Okay, so no real gusto at the open this morning. A little bit weak, but we'll see if we can get up there. So target, initial target is 1.5R, which is there. Oh, weird. Sorry, my eyes just went all blurry. It's these tablets every now and again. I saw two TPs then. There's one TP there and one TP there. It's just the tablets. Every now and again, I get this weird double vision thing. It's very, very odd. Okay, we've rejected the highs, so stopping out on those. Not quite, but okay. So stopped out the highs, tiny loss, 5 points or something, nothing. So let's see if we get a run out the lows. Oh, it's really weird. I can see 2 TPs there. Bizarre. So looking at the DAX today, difficult to, oh wow, we've got 55 people in here. That's good. Sorry. For some reason, the number of viewers I'm watching this on another thingy, browser, and it's not updating the number of people in the room today for some reason. But anyway, I've got 9 likes, guys. Come on. Play the game. Discovered a problem with the running this on the 1 minute chart, guys. Look, because we're running on the 1 minute chart and the EA triggers on candle close, these orders are going to get entered up to 5 times a candle on M5, which in this case, if that runs now for the highs, I don't actually mind. But that if you get a whipsaw candle that goes like that for 5 minutes, you're potentially going to get into the same ORB over and over again. So I would be very careful running this on 1 minute. If you're going to run it on 1 minute, I would say do not have continuous mode set. Turn off continuous mode. Otherwise, you are going to get into potential longs over and over again, like I just have. Which obviously, if this now runs to the lows, is going to hurt. That's a side effect I didn't think of. So there's pluses and minuses for it. If this runs to the highs now, obviously it's a plus. If it runs to the lows, it's a minus. That's what trading is, isn't it? Take the trades. They either go your way or they don't. Thanks for the likes, everybody. That's really cool. 26. We like that. We'll do some analysis in a minute. If anybody's got any pairs specifically they want to look at or anything they want to discuss, bootcamp-wise or trading in general, let me know. Okay, so here's your 5 minute opening range in. And we have gone nowhere. So complete indecision so far. No directional bias at all. I would say it's more bullish than bearish based on the price action, but we'll see. It does look like it wants to run high. So price action yesterday, obviously we had a big old run up day yesterday, lovely big bullish candle following that big bear move. So we've just basically returned to origin. Yeah, and we are exactly where we were on Monday. So literally this week we have gone nowhere. We've literally just put in a move to the upside, move to the downside, and we're back to where we started. Again, we're waiting for Friday. We're waiting for the unemployment figures for the US to decide on where we're going to go. So no movement at all. We've got this big old propulsion gap to the downside to come and retest, which is likely to happen at some point. So I'm kind of bearish on it today, but I don't think we're necessarily going to get that movement today. It's an ADR away. You never know. There could be some catalysts coming out. We haven't really got any news today, but it's obviously still bullish at the moment. So, but yesterday was a lower high and a lower low. So who knows? Stopped out and gone short. So heading down. Difficult really. Yesterday's low really, isn't it? Which is all the way down here. We're going to go short. Michael, sorry for the dumb question. How do you work out the average? I don't know. That's a math question. Can't do that this time in the morning. If you've got the same lot size, obviously, if you take a trade there and a trade there, the average is there if the lot size is the same. From an average, I don't know. That's of Google, that one, I would. Because it's based on your lot size, obviously, isn't it? I don't know what the actual equation is. I can look it up. But that you'd be able to find that on Google. If it's the ME break even. Oh yeah, I can look at the code on that. I can find the equation in the code. It is. Oh, blimey. It's not simple. Why do you want to know? If you want to know for coding something, that ME break-even line indicator that is in the Telegram group and on the website in the other indicators, the source code, I've got the source code for that. I think I put the source code in the Telegram group, so it'll be in there. I didn't code that, so I don't know. Honest answer, I don't know. That's a big maths question for this time of the morning. Okay, so we are running short at the moment. Doesn't seem to be an awful lot of buyers or sellers in any direction really at the open. So this may well push back up again, but we'll see where we go from here. Right. So what do you want to look at? US dollar CAD. So I like this as a short. I might take this as a short. I was toying with the idea of taking an ORB on this today. On this account. Look at the spread. Blimey, look at that. That's a nasty spread on the fivers for the DAX. Okay, I'm going to go. Just entered a sell stop short on that account. So US dollar CAD, I like the look of short at the moment. So this is a long. This is the biggest buy at the moment. So it's a high risk trade. We've got COT positioning positive. We've got retail all shorting it at the moment, so potentially going long, and all the fundamentals are positive. So if you're going to take this as a short, it is high risk because you're trading against everything. You're trading against fundamentals, you're trading against the futures market, you're trading against retail. So, or you're going with retail, which is obviously dangerous. However, it is very nicely extended and has been embedded on the hourly, and we are kind of embedded now on the 4 hour. We got since this big propulsion move that we had with Powell, we're embedded. So I think this has got a good decent profit take on it. What I'm worried about is it's not going to happen until unemployment tomorrow. If we get as expected unemployment or possibly a 0.1 increase on unemployment tomorrow, we're going to get a negative move on the US. So I'm not sure getting into it today is the right thing to do. However, they might start a move today. So I'm toying with the idea of jumping on this, but obviously it would not be a position trade. I would not position trade this short. I would get into it with a stop trade short though. So what the, why did that, oh my God, this is a 2-digit broker. I've got the price action toolkit set up wrong. Sorry, wait a sec. I hate MT5 with an absolute passion. I can't find anything in it. $43 profit on that and 180 loss on that. Why did that close that position out? God's sake, sell. Got a TP on it. TP. I don't know what this is doing. I really don't. I'll leave that. I can't be bothered. I hate MT5. Right. So yeah, I'm looking for a short on this. It would be a stop loss trade, stop above the highs, the recent highs on it, looking at the hourly. So when we get a reverse alert on this, this is going to be an Asian low break, right? Yesterday's low is potentially where we might do this ahead of tomorrow. So if we are going to get a push down, I don't think we'd make it beyond there. But if you look at the risk reward on it, it's actually, it's actually not too bad, 1.5-ish. So just about to TP on the ORB short from the pre-market. There we go. So yeah, I like this as a temporary short, but as I say, it is massively against the trend and everything at the minute. So, however, it's very, very stretched. And I just think they're going to do a quick run to the downside at some point. And the question is, are they going to do it today ahead of potential positive unemployment, which will drive it up? Or are they going to wait for the unemployment, anticipating it's going to be negative and drive it back down from there? So I think it's a case of if you want to take it, you just got to get in short today on it and hope that you're going in the right direction on it. But it's a really nice tight trade. From where it is at the moment. So pending order under there, basically, or just wait for the reversal alert on it, assuming that we get that reversal alert today. So there you go. So that's a 2-to-1, is well within yesterday's low, which will obviously be the target if they're going to take it short today. So I'm going to put pending order on that one. Just going to up the risk on it as well on this. A little bit, go 1%, 0.59. I've been umming and ahhing with this trade all morning while I've been looking at it. We've got a lovely propulsion gap target to aim for to the downside as well. So I think there's a really good opportunity for some downside movement on this. But I'm not going to get greedy on it. But I'm only going to trigger it, obviously, if we get downside movement. So check gold and NASDAQ. I use this website to work out average if entering at different stakes. Well, let us know what the website is, Tim. Price 1 times lot plus price 2, price 1 times lot plus price 2 times lot divide by 2, big papa. There you go. That sounds about right, yeah. So you can use for DD control, yeah. Okay. Morning, it's time. Pushing back up from that propulsion gap. Selling pound CAD on hangover. Never trade on a hangover. If you have a hangover, take the morning off. You're selling pound CAD, right? Let's look at your reasoning behind selling pound CAD. Why are you selling pound CAD? I mean, it could possibly work, but why? It's bang in the middle of nowhere. Short scalp, okay. Good luck. There is an odd of that working. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down, and you're going to make money or you're not. Right, gold, for someone that wanted to look at gold. So with gold, basically, as I say, I don't really trade gold myself, but we've got, it's a US dollar cross. we've got exactly the same inverse movement potential as we have with all the other US dollar crosses at the moment. So we've got these propulsion gaps, which were put in off of the power move, and basically looking for that to push back up again. Or basically, it's all news based. So at the moment, obviously, as you can see, we're not interested in going anywhere because we've got unemployment figures tomorrow. All these propulsion gaps are complete. Yeah, so we've got these targets to the upside. So it's really, thanks for the follow, whoever that was, Steve. ADR to the upside is on the cards definitely for tomorrow. Today, I think there's a chance that we may get a move on the US dollar, which will be preempting what's going to happen tomorrow. So it'll either go today, or all we're going to get today is that kind of movement. So if you get yourself into a position today on gold, obviously I would be looking only for shorts on this because I'm expecting the US dollar to power up at the moment today. Tomorrow, if the unemployment figures come out in completely the opposite direction, I'll be expecting it to go down for the rest of the month. Yeah, so this is the thing with any trade that you're taking on any gold cross, the only thing that matters is this. Yeah. So right now, today, if you take a trade, if you're not out of it by the end of today, and bear in mind today could well be a day like that because we've got all of this tomorrow, this is going to decide whether or not you win or lose, isn't it? It's a 50-50 shot. If this comes out at 3.5, gold is going to fly up. If it comes out at 3.3, gold is going to tank. Yeah. So there's your analysis on gold. At the moment, it's going nowhere. It's completely flatlined sideways. It's got a lot more upside potential from a gap fill. However, it's nothing to do with anything technical. And tomorrow, it's going to be moving up or down. So get into it if you want to in the direction you think it's going to go. Personally, I think we're probably going to get as expected or better than expected figures for unemployment, in which case gold is coming down. But I find it very hard to trade away from propulsion gaps like that are so close. But it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So we could easily do that. Hover, push, come back up. It's just that in reverse. Yeah. But I don't know whether it's going to happen today, tomorrow, or next week. So there's your gold analysis. I don't know. Can't really help with that one. NASDAQ, obviously that's inverse of US dollar. So again, NASDAQ, do you think we are going into a bull market or not? Do you think the US dollar is going to power up or not? If the unemployment figures come out as massively bullish, we're going to get a spike in the US dollar and we're going to get a drop in the NASDAQ. Intraday, obviously you can't trade this morning because the market doesn't open until 1:30 this afternoon. So you can trade it this morning if you want, but obviously you're trading the Globex session, which is notoriously choppy. So you'll have to give me some context. Right. Stopped out on that one. So I need 8,000s on these, don't I? 15. Okay, we've tested that propulsion gap. So I'm going pending shorts under there. We have got a higher high and a higher low, which is bullish. However, we've closed back down inside the that previous 5-minute candle. So either here, this low is going to remain intact and we're going to put in a higher low and run that high, or we that propulsion gap is where the sellers have stepped in, pushed back down again, and now we're going to get sell price action, which means I'd expect a lower high, and I'd expect this low to get breached and to put a lower low in. If we're going to do that, we're going to challenge the lows. If we challenge the lows and we get a push out of them, we're going to flush. So I'm betting on a short, basically, and see if we can get a move out the downside, but no real indication of direction at the moment, is there? So this could go either way. I'm going to go with a short because it's an easier trade. Right, let's have a look at the RSIs this morning. I took a short on US dollar CAD yesterday, stopped at 138.20, gone again with a stop at 138.40. Yeah, it's a good risk reward trade, that. I like US dollar CAD. I will jump into that if we get a reversal out on the hourly, but it's not doing it at the minute. Still stuck in the middle. So, thanks for the follow, Sensei, or Sensei Florin. I'm doing a putting my hands together and doing a bow to you, Sensei. I used to do martial arts in a previous life. Well, not in a previous life, when I was younger. In this life. But I don't do it anymore, is what I'm trying to say. In a really bad way. Oh my God, look at this Swiss yen. Ah, stopped out the Swiss yen already. Jesus, give us a chance. Right, okay, fine. This isn't going well this morning, is it? Anyway. Right, so analysis time. So looking at the RSIs today, obviously we've got no ADRs to look at. The main short is the US dollar CAD. So this is basically off of the 4-hour RSI extension. Obviously, we're above the 80, well, we're 82 basically at the moment. So we're above the 82 on the last 4-hour candle. We've got a bearish engulfing gone in now. So it is starting to roll over. Doesn't mean it's going to come down, obviously, but we are starting to see more sellers entering into the market. So hourly, we're waiting for that reversal alert, nice and tight at the top there. M15, we've already had one. So we've got those bears starting to step in. We need to get a break of the Asian low, which we've just attempted and failed. So when we get that break, we've got that level there. Apart from that, it's pretty clear run back down to the London high from yesterday before New York Open. So we've got a good good 20 pips, so about quarter of an ADR move to the downside before we're going to meet any type of support on that. And then obviously target would be, as I said, yesterday's low. So that is if it can break, obviously. I'm not convinced. I think there's a good chance we may get a similar session to yesterday. Look, the only reason we got this movement yesterday really was because we had some US news, but that's the London session and the Asian session all contained within each other. So there's a good chance that this might just do that sort of movement today, and we'll wait to see if we can get a move in New York. We've got the 130 figures for unemployment, so that might help that one move. But that's really the only RSI extension we've got at the moment, which is any strength. The rest of it is all Aussie based. So we've got the Aussie Swiss 4-hour. That's putting in a nice W pattern down at that low. So this is what we were looking at, this level here, which looks good. Nice W pattern reversal starting to play out there. Lovely propulsion gap targets to the upside. And we've got this area of previous support that we got broken, which was very strong. And that would be where we would expect to come back up to as a resistance. Yeah. Same thing, just support resistance. So if that fails, that trade, you've got this back up here at ADR today, where we're likely to get a move, and obviously then we would just be extended again. And we put basically, if that happens, we're going to put in. We've got divergence already. Actually, look on the 4-hour, we've got RSI divergence, all bullish. So it all looks good. Hourly, we're not extended. We were, and that's all we got off of the hourly extension, and that was a big extension as well. So this Aussie dollar is incredibly weak at the minute, but you know, at some point we are going to come back up and push that propulsion gap. This one is untested as well. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't come back up to that, but we got this big old orphan up there as well. So you know, there's so many upside targets on it. At some point it is going to pop. It's just a case of we're either waiting for some real good Swiss franc weakness, or we're waiting for some news on the Aussie, but obviously, as you can see, we've got nothing coming up on the Aussie, and we've got nothing coming up on the Swiss. So, you know, the next Aussie news we've got is unemployment next Thursday. That's a week away. So the market's not going to wait until then. So it's just a timing thing, obviously, and that's the one thing we obviously can't do, is it? Time the market. That's why we don't try. So potential strong move to the upside there. I'm just watching this. Yeah, didn't get triggered on that short. So we got an inside bar, and now we've got a lower high, lower low. It's not going anywhere today at the minute. No volume. CAD working well on my short. Right. So yeah, Aussie dollar Swiss, nice H4 extension. Obviously that has been much more extended on the 4 hour. We were very well lit up there, but it's just stalling. Really, really like it though from a price action perspective. Yeah, this previous support is getting bought up. It's just there's not a lot of buyers at the minute. So we'll see. I get the feeling we may well drop. If we get an ADR hit on this today, yeah, this would be absolutely spot on. So you got two choices. Either you take it now, or and if it comes down, you get in, and that's only half an ADR away, isn't it? So you get in with two positions and you get out on the push, or you get in now and hope we get the push sometime today or tomorrow. Aussie dollar yen. I was thinking we were going to get some bearish yen today. So the reason I took that trade this morning, literally the only reason I took that trade this morning on the yen, was because we've had negative GDP. Obviously, the market doesn't give a monkeys about that, and the yen's powering up. So for some reason, don't know why, they decided it's nice and bullish to have negative GDP and go into recession. But hey, what do we know? We're not the market, are we? But anyway, so yeah, that's obviously, I think, a potential nice long opportunity where we are at the moment. We're coming into this propulsion at the moment. It has already been tested, but this is a lovely area of support, again, which is holding up very, very nicely. This Aussie dollar has got nothing though at the minute. So it's a question of, are we going to get some strength on it? If not, you know, there's nowhere other than that. There's nowhere to stop until 200 ADR. There's nothing here that is going to say, I need to turn. So you're just coming straight down from there. So it's a tricky one. You can either take a short on this, if you fancy, you can take a breakout trade short, but from a mean reversion perspective, we're just stalling, aren't we? So again, it looks just like the last one. We've got the start of a lovely W pattern, and we've got divergence on the RSI. It's all bullish. Yeah, so this is all bullish. It looks really good. It doesn't seem to be able to get kick-started this morning, does it? Yeah, we've got a reversal alert here, followed by a reversal alert. We are sideways. We're going nowhere. So, tricky one. Obviously, 15-minute looks the best entry at the moment. Yeah, because you've got a nice potential uneven W forming. You've got Asian high, which is also a double top. So if we can break that with any force, you've got a good run, but you're going to run straight into loads and loads and loads of sellers, which is going to be hard work. So I wouldn't anticipate much more than an ADR on that today, if you could get it. So tricky one. CAD Swiss, absolute mess this. So we've broken out of this range. So we've had this beautiful, so easy to trade range for ages. What seems like ages. It's actually 1 month and a half. We've broken out the low. So this propulsion gap finally gave up. We finally got it hit. So this is where we're coming to potentially, but the question is, that's the lowest low, isn't it? The question is, are we coming down to there first, or are we going to run back up into this range at some point and then come back down here? There's lots of wicks on this at the moment. If you look at it, yeah, if you look at this historically on the 4 hour, yeah, every time we push down quite hard, which we are doing, you get the wicks starting to form, yeah, and then we start to rally. So yeah, it's looking like it wants to go. It really wants to go. But again, we've got no strength at all here at the minute. And we've got the potential tomorrow for the CAD to drive either direction. So we've got the unemployment for the CAD, which is going to obviously drive that dramatically one direction or the other. And then we've got the US dollar, which is obviously going to drive the CAD as well. So it's very, very difficult to know which way this one is going to head. And it's all down to tomorrow. Propulsion, we've got exactly the same problem as we have with the US dollar. We've got lots of propulsion to the upside. Yeah, so there's lots of upside targets on it. So it's a tricky one. But if you're going to get into this long now in the anticipation of a rally tomorrow, you've got a backup down there for a second position, exactly the same. And that's the trade. So, you know, look at it on the buyer scorecard. It's a sell at the minute with no cop bias, but that is going to change potentially tomorrow on the unemployment. Yeah, so these could both go to a +2 tomorrow, and all of a sudden this is looking a lot more bullish. These guys all get stopped out, and we've got a bullish instrument. So, you know, this is why you got to, whenever you're looking at this, you've got to be aware of when's the next interest rates, when are the next inflation, when's the next GDP and unemployment coming out, because that's going to change the outlook on this as to whether it's bullish or bearish. And these guys will all just get stopped out. So at the moment, we want to be shorting it. We can see that it is a short and it has been coming down, but that's going to change tomorrow. So everything you're looking at on the ADRs, on the RSIs at the moment, potentially is going to change tomorrow. So it's very hard to get into these. But speculatively, if you get in now with a long on this and we get those positive unemployment for the US and the CAD, this thing's going to go through the roof. We're going to be back up here. If not, we're going to be down in that support. And if we are going down to that support, this is going to be absolutely full of limit orders ready to trigger. So we're going to run straight into a mass of buyers. And we're going to find it hard to get through it. So if you get in here, and tomorrow it flies down to there, second entry, you won't get a second entry on the reverse alerts because the move down will be too fast. But if you took a second pending down there, you'd be able to get out of that very, very easily. So it's a good long. I like it. Same way as I like the US dollar CAD short at the moment. Yeah. But tomorrow, you know, it's all about tomorrow. So CAD yen is coming down at the moment. The yen seems to be strong. So yeah, can't argue with the yen at the minute. We've got a weak CAD as well. Maybe somebody knows something about the figures tomorrow, in which case that US dollar CAD trade is not going to work, but we'll see. So yeah, I don't know about the CAD yen. It's nicely extended on the hourly, but I don't really want to get in front of this at the minute, to be honest. It's coming back up here at some point, you know, so it might be a couple of days. We've also got a lovely propulsion. So this is a lovely entry to the upside at the moment. It's nicely extended on the hourly. So yeah, H1 reversal alert back up into there. So it's setting up nicely, CAD yen, but you want to wait for a reversal alert on it. I'm short at the minute. Oh, blimey. Okay, let's cancel those pendings. So DAX is gone. Back up. So we're back up to where we started. So it's a false breakout to the downside at the moment. Or it's a market structure pullback for a short. Your choice. One of those two things is going to happen. I'm quite tempted to take this CAD yen off, to be honest. Where's my TP? Let me just quickly look at my TP on this. Can't remember where I put it. ADR, yeah. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. This is why I don't use MT5. Look, what the hell is all this crap? This repainting thing. It takes you that long to switch charts. If you're in a rush and there's been a news event, how the hell can you operate on this platform? It's utterly terrible. I hate it. This is why I don't like prop firms that force you to use MT5. It's just, I don't get it. So I'm just going to TP at ADR. So the original TP on this that I had was this propulsion gap. That was my initial entry. That was why I got into the trade. We're also hitting potential support there. Yeah. So that's where my initial target is. I'm just moving that up just above to ADR. We're hitting this, which is a reaction from there. So there's a potential for limit order triggers here to create a double bottom. And if this goes back up, obviously, I'm not going to make any money. So I'm just going to break even and stop on it as well. Yeah, so watch this. If you're in this, obviously we're looking potentially for a long because RSI is extended, not extended to the downside there. Oh, there you go, that's why. So, yeah, extended to the downside. But we're potentially running into support. So we may get a bounce from here. See how much limit triggering we get here. If it doesn't fly back from here and it can fly through all these limit orders which are triggering, we're just going to pop straight down to ADR, I'd imagine. Could flush out, could go much, much lower, but I'm not going to get greedy on it. In fact, what I am going to do is trailer this. I'm not going to make a loss on it either. 138. I'm just going to stick a 138 trailer on it. Or 130, that'll do. Thank you. Why did that take so long to trigger, right? This is ticking. Why did that take so long to trigger? I'm just going to remove my TP. And because just in case we hit a pocket of orders and pop, there's no point in TPing on it now. If I've got a trailer on it, I'll just let it run. Take what it gives me. But the stops, just MT5, just unbelievably crap. Just stop using it. Anywho, Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss is the other RSI on the hourly. So that's a lovely stop run of yesterday's low at the moment going on an hourly extension. This, as you can see, is range bound at the moment. We've got a real mixed bias on this. So the COT report is long. They're long the euro and short the Swiss at the moment. Although this data is a little bit old because CFTC is delaying reporting data at the minute. We've got retail are all long on it, which means it's a short. Yeah. So that's why it's been coming down, because retail are long. But retail have just been potentially liquidated. So this might go. When we talk about RSI extensions, yeah, and the reason I use RSI as I teach in the bootcamp is to find exhausted conditions, basically. So we're looking for times when the market has been pushed hard in one direction and stretched, and we know that the market has got a shed load of profit they're sitting on ready to take it. Yeah, that sort of condition. That's the RSI extensions that I'm interested in. This is an RSI extension, but in a very, very orderly manner. Yeah, you look at how this has got to RSI. Yeah, it's very, very slow compared to that. Yeah, this is a parabolic propulsion move, elastic band stretch. We've gone way faster and harder than we normally do. This has come down in a very, very nice, neat, orderly manner. These are the RSI extensions you will find that will just often do that. Yeah, and you end up just getting into, like, from here, look. So you had an exit there. That's not an entry. Yeah, you had an entry there, which you probably wouldn't have got into till somewhere up there because of the speed of that move. And all that's happened is it's just popped against you. Now it's got extended again. You know, so these aren't great RSIs. You want the ones which are parabolic. Ones RSIs that leave a propulsion gap in their wake, yeah? So we move fast and hard. We leave so much orders behind. We have to come back and sort those out. Those are the ones we're interested in. Big, strong move, leaving propulsion. Yeah, we're going to come back up there. We're going to get that. We're going to come back up there. We're going to get that. We know that. It's just at the moment, we're just like ambling along, pottering along at 30 miles an hour in our Mini. Yeah, this guy was driving a Ferrari at 110. He crashed. Yeah, that's what we're after. That's not a very good RSI. Don't like it. I am long again. This is an interesting day. let's catch up the chat. David, morning. Like button smashed. Excellent. How many likes have we got? Just going to check. Just going to do the roll call. We have 94 people. We have 37 likes. Not even going to talk to you anymore. 37. That's terrible. Hit the button. Let's get some more people in. What would you say about Euro odd? Have I covered Euro odd? No, I didn't. Euro odd. We've got some pretty good combined sentiments today as well, I think. Let me just refresh the page. So Euro odd is at the moment range bound. So this is a this is pretty much a zero. Yeah. However, I don't think it is. I think it's more of a bullish one. The reason at the moment it's a +3 is because we've got COT on side, which I think we will still have when we get the latest report. And we've got retail all shorting at the moment. So it's a lovely buy. The fundamentals are pretty mixed across those two, but we know the Aussie is a lot weaker than the Euro at the moment. So I'd be looking for buys on it. And you can see obviously with the sentiment, it's been a buy for a few days. But we've stalled out at the moment up here. So we are starting to put in a good mean reversion. This is the target for the pullback. That little candle there is an accumulation within that move, which is also a target. And this is why we use propulsion gaps, yeah? So accumulation breaks cause propulsion. So we can see where the accumulations are and where the balances are. So we go, market goes into balance, price discovery, balance, price discovery, balance, price discovery, balance. Yeah, these are the propulsion moves. Yeah, these are the accumulations. So the propulsion gap indicator tells you where those accumulations are, and that's what we're looking to trade back into. So M pattern, we've got obviously nice targets all the way down. So yeah, looking for shorts on it at the moment. However, you are trading against the retail crowd at the minute. Yeah, so Euro odd is a very strong buy at the minute. So it's struggling to get down. Yeah, because all the liquidity at the moment is here. Everybody's shorting the crap out of it. So all the money, when they need it, is always up at the highs. Yeah. So, but however, we are trying to get back down there. So intraday today, you've got a nice move to the upside potentially. If we can get up into there or up into retest this reversal alert, I think there's a good chance of it coming down. But it's against retail. So there's also a very good chance of it going sideways. There's a good chance of everything going sideways today. Yeah, we know that the day before non-farm payroll is quite often a sideways move because the market is not interested in putting any decent amount of liquidity into the market when it knows that there's a massive fundamental shift potentially coming on the Canadian and the US dollar. Yeah. So it's very, very hard to analyze anything the day before the unemployment figures are released. But these are the targets. So intraday, little push up, potentially a little push up into there, and then back down. That's what I would want to happen. At the moment, all the time, you've got the retail crowd. Yeah, back into propulsion. We're just going to do this, I think, at the minute. It's no directional bias at all. It's range bound. But you do not take trades in the middle of a range. You take them at the extremes. So there. So at the moment, I would say I'd like to long it. However, at any moment it could drop. Yeah. This is why we do position trading. We don't use stop losses because I have no clue which way it's going. I can give you my analysis on where it's potentially going to go, but there's always going to be two options. And I never know which one's going to be right. So I get in, and if I'm wrong, I get in again, and then I get out. That's what position trading is all about. So that's Euro odd. It's a very tricky one long term as well. We're waiting on some decent news from the Euro. we haven't had any decent euro news for a bit. We've got the new rate coming out next Thursday, which is 3%, forecast to be 3.5. I'm 99.9% sure we're going to get that 3.5. In which case, then we'll probably get a bullish euro. But that 3.5 isn't going to be what's going to make the market move. The press conference and the monetary policy statement is what's going to move the market next Thursday. So as long as Lagarde comes out on Thursday and backs up what she said previously about a 0.5 interest rate increase in April/May, we'll get a bullish euro. So I'm looking at the moment to try and, I would only really ideally get some longs on. If you're going long term, you want to go long. You can see what you don't want to be shorting against that, do you? So any RSI extensions to the downside, longs, yeah, hourlies, longs, and RSI and ADR hits to the downside for longs. And if you get an ADR hit to the downside like we've got today, yeah, ADR hit within a propulsion gap, double bubble, confluence, yeah, reason to buy, reason to buy. By the time we get to there, that will be there, reason to buy. It's a 3-star trade. The more you've got going for you in one direction, the more likelihood your trade is going to work out in your direction, isn't it? Really like your detailed analysis. Cool. Be a good time to go long on the Swiss yen at the lows. It's already gone. My CAD yen's obviously still going. Yeah, so we are hitting this. So this is the limit orders. I'm not going to do analysis on that bloody MT5. I can't bear it. So this is the limit orders triggering here. Yeah. So it's this this little bit here. You're starting to get some buyers trigger. So this is limit orders, and this is what we're seeing on the lower time frame. Yeah. There's those lines. Yeah. This is where the limit orders are placed. And this is just the market's limits triggering. So the question is, these propulsion moves we've had today with these sellers, is there enough of these guys to add into their positions and drive through that? Or have we had the sell move today and now the limit orders are going to entice buyers in and we're going to get a W pattern reversal? One of those two things is going to happen with 100% accuracy. I don't know which. Your decision, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go long or short. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood today. It's the drugs, I'm sure it is. Please tell New Zealand dollar CAD. Right. New Zealand dollar CAD. So like with any CAD pair, it's down to tomorrow. So at the moment, it's a strong buy. Fundamentals against the New Zealand dollar are all really good. COT is long. Retail are short. Therefore, you want to be long in it. However, obviously, tomorrow, we've got the Canadian dollar unemployment. This thing's going to go that. It's just going to go mental tomorrow. So I don't know at the moment. From a fundamental perspective, you want to be looking for longs, but you don't want to be taking long trades all the way up there. You want to be taking them down here, taking the pullbacks. So we're in a bit of a funk at the minute, which is just basically a very long flag potential on that movement. But I don't fancy the New Zealand long against the CAD, really. I think if we get unemployment figures that we've got coming out tomorrow, yeah, the unemployment rate is one of the most important fundamentals, which is why it's on the fundamental scorecard, yeah, because this is one of the leading. These are the 4 leading indicators that the banks and institutions use to this is the main focus of their scorecarding, yeah. This is the one that has the most leading impact because employment keeps your economy ticking over, yeah? if you don't have people in jobs, you have a high dependency on the government and on welfare, etc. You have a hole in the economy with businesses where they can't fill positions and they can't operate effectively, which is bad for your economy, which is bad for your GDP. And the rate of unemployment is very much driven by what happens with interest rates. So they are always looking at this as one of the key things for making changes to that. They don't want to do this if this is going up, because it makes it worse. The situation just spirals out of control. This is why you saw Powell being grilled yesterday, and a lot of what they were saying to him is, this kept coming up all the time: unemployment, unemployment. What do you think about unemployment? What's happening with unemployment? He's constantly batting it back, saying, hopefully it's coming down, so then we can do this. Yeah. Tomorrow with the CAD, it's exactly the same. Look at the figures on the unemployment for the Canadian dollar. Yeah. Second highest in the G8. Yeah, we are not good. So it puts a lot of pressure on this. They've already got high interest rates and high unemployment. And if last time it's stabilized, if it comes down, the Canadian dollar is going to push hard. So what's going to happen to the New Zealand dollar CAD? Boom, it's going to fly to the downside, isn't it? So I like that. However, at the moment, the fundamentals are telling you the opposite. Yeah, retail are all shorting it, which is probably they are right. But obviously that means that they will always be trying to drive to the upside. Yeah, try and find the liquidity. So the retail crowd are shorting it and shorting it and shorting it. And it's driving up, driving up, driving up. That will flip tomorrow because they'll all get stopped out. So I like it as a short. And I like that to continue. And I think we're going to come down and challenge these lows. But we're not going to do it today. So it's a good one to start a position on. However, there's not really any signals to get in on a short trade right now. So, you know, for me, there's no entry. You're retesting here, but where are you going to go? There's nowhere to go, is there? It's just, there's no targets anywhere really that are of any interest on this pair at the moment to the downside, apart from this one. But that's where I would expect it to go tomorrow. But the only way that's going to happen is if we get CAD unemployment coming out with a negative number, i.e. unemployment coming down. So hard one, that one. US 30, Su Young. Are you trading that intraday? If you are, you should be trading it this afternoon, not this morning. Up. Definitely. Buy it. It's not going to go until tomorrow, but buy it. Ready for tomorrow. But if the US dollar pumps tomorrow, you're never going to get there. It's going to go down. I don't know. There's a common theme here, isn't there, guys? Yeah? I've no clue what's going to happen with the market at the moment because it's all going to be driven by tomorrow. So I get into your trades. If you get the right result tomorrow, woohoo, we bank. If we don't, woohoo, we go into drawdown. So we get big fundamental shift events. It's very hard to do any analysis on anything, isn't it? I'm not much use today, am I? That's because I've only got 44 thumbs up and there's 93 people in here and I'm depressed. What's a good source for currency correlations? Google, basically. There is I can't remember which website it is. It's one of these two. I can't remember which one has got the better. Oh, they've changed this. This is probably the easiest to read, I would imagine, because you've got multi-time frames on it. But this basically tells you what the correlation is. It's a -1 on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So this is pretty clear, isn't it? But yeah, Google, really. I don't know why you want to use currency correlation. I don't think it really helps in any way. Thief Limited. No, Theffi Limited. Hi, I've checked current set of strategies you are trading in the live room. None is based on last higher time frame order block for directional bias. My question is that not is it that is not a profitable way to trade? Yes, if you want to use a stop loss, yes, definitely. So the original higher time frame strategy is based on this, right? So the higher time frame strategy is based on this. You get a reversal alert on the H4 time frame. Yeah, you wait for price to pull back. Yeah, in the direction of the higher time frame break, and on the lower time frame, M15 in this case, you would take a next reversal alert. The next reversal alert would have been in there, and you'd have gone short. Here, there's an H4 reversal alert long. So you would wait for, after the reversal alert long, you would wait for the pullback. On the lower time frame on M15, you would have taken a reversal alert in there and gone long. And you would be taking, at the moment, every M15 reversal alert long that you got. So you would have got one in there. You would have got one in there. That would have stopped you out. You're waiting for one here. You probably had one somewhere in there. But as you know, I don't use stop losses. So that's a stop loss strategy. Nothing wrong with it if you want a stop loss strategy. I just don't use a stop loss because it stops me out in negative and I don't like losing money. So there's nothing wrong with that strategy at all. It's a good strategy. It's all on the indicator page. And it's in the top 3. I think it's in the top 3, isn't it? I can't remember. I haven't looked at these videos for such a long time. Yeah, there you go. There's a multi-time frame look. So that's covering multi-time frame. So that is the H4 M15. So you just take a reversal in line with the, there you go, there's your higher time frame. So that's your H4 reversal alert short displayed on the higher time frame reversal alert displayed on the lower time frame for you. So you'd wait for pusher up, and then you get a reversal alert short, and you get in short because the market is expected to do that because the last structure break on the higher time frame was short. Nothing wrong with it. But it's not something you would do with position trading because position trading is based around mean reversion. This is based around trend continuation. Yeah, H4 M15 here is a trend strategy. This is a trend strategy using higher time. There you go. Watch the video. I'll explain it. It's all in there. It explains it all in minute detail. Advert. Are we going to get an advert? Oh no. Damn. Right. God damn it. We got more extended on the CAD yen. We are pulling back though, so I will have been stopped out. Oh no, not yet. Still sitting in propulsion. So hopefully some sellers will step in and drive me down from here. Lee, with the news, which ones do you find make the biggest impact on the market? Thought it was a question to help new traders understand it. So yeah, Thief, you're obviously new here. Lee is profitable every month since I've been here, which is since September 21. Really? That long? Oh, we should have an anniversary. We should have a John Wick is very happy. He's a John Wick with an anniversary cake. There you go. Here come the sellers stepping in on the CAD yen. So for news, it's the key fundamentals. These are the ones that will drive the biggest. Obviously, interest rates, which is what they call, so quick guide to news and why the hell they don't call it what it is, but they don't, right? Interest rates are also known as overnight rates. We've got one next week, haven't we? Yeah, so they're known as main financing rates or overnight rates. Yeah, this is basically just an interest rate, right? Inflation, aka CPI, Consumer Price Index, that is inflation. Yeah, so that moves the market massively as well. GDP, gross domestic product. That is one they actually do call GDP. Yeah, GDP. Yeah, so that is the GDP for the country, gross domestic product for the country, which is basically like how much did our business make this this month, this quarter, this year, etc. And then obviously unemployment, which is known as the unemployment rate. Yeah, and a lot of people, you know, we call this non-farm payroll Friday, don't we? It's not. The reason, if you took this, right, and put this on Monday, tomorrow, that market would hardly move, because the non-farm payroll, non-farm employment change is less important than the employment rate. Yeah, this is what the Fed focuses on. This is what actually moves it, yeah, the unemployment rate. Notice how no other country has a non-farm employment change. They all have an unemployment rate there. Yeah, that's what moves the market. That's the important bit. Not to be misunderstood with unemployment claims. Yeah, there's lots of different employment and unemployment figures, but the unemployment rate is the important one. How much of our population is sitting out there being a strain on our government at the moment? That's important. We don't want that figure to go up, because if that figure goes up, it isn't good for our economy. Yeah. So all of these four are interlinked. So interest rates going up is good because it makes us attractive. If the overnight rate in our banks is 4.75%, if I've got $1 billion to put into an investment, where do I put it? Where it earns the most money? Where's the most money at the moment? The US dollar. Where do I not want to put it? In the yen. If I put $1 billion into the yen, I'm going to lose 100K every day, or 10. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the actual figures is, but that's, you know, you get it. Inflation makes everything go up, makes everything expensive. That means we all get poorer. Yeah, because we all get poorer, we can't afford stuff. If we can't afford stuff, sometimes we can't afford to pay our mortgage. If we can't afford to pay our mortgage, sometimes that leads to us getting unemployed. If the unemployment rate goes up, that puts a strain on interest rates. GDP goes down because all of this feeds into how our economy works. Yeah, so it's all interlinked in a very complicated way. However, we don't need to understand all of this. Yeah, because we have these things called banks and institutions which do this on a much more intricate scale with a scorecard which is much more complex than you'll find on my website. Yeah, so the buyer scorecard here is a scorecarding system, and this is how the banks and institutions look at the fundamentals, and they give everything a rating and a score. And what you get at the end is, should we be buying or selling this particular currency pair, right? And that is what we can read as the commitment of traders, which is published by the CFTC, which is the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission. So these guys basically publish the figures. Oh, I've got a new report out. I'll go and get that done today, February the 14th. Right, I'll do that later. I'll leave that tab open. These guys publish every single trade executed in the futures market, which is all monitored in a centralized exchange. So all you need to know is, if all of this stuff here is pointing in one direction, right? The institutional traders who are speculating on futures market movements will buy, right? So if 76% of fundamental speculative traders in banks and institutions are long on a currency, the likelihood is the thing's going to go up, because these guys in the banks and institutions are what drive our services PMI figures, which come out and make our country's GDP go up, right? So they know what they're doing. They make money. Bankers own Ferraris. They don't drive clapped out 20-year-old minis, do they? Yeah, they know what they're doing. So all we need to do is, in effect, go, yeah, that's all great, but I don't understand it. Okay, we'll just follow the commitment of traders. Follow what they're doing, and you've got a very good chance of being right long term. The positions that they take are taken in the market over a period of 4 to 12 weeks. So they will get into a futures contract in a direction, and they will expect that to be in a higher price than when they got in, somewhere in the next 4 to 12 weeks. Yeah. On my charts, I have 2 moving averages. One is the 4-week moving average and one is the 12-week moving average, which is why I call them the institutional moving averages. This is the 24 and the 72. 24 days in a trading month, 72 days in a trading quarter. And this is how they report their figures to the shareholders and everything. So they're looking for a return. So if these guys are doing this, and this is red, that is what we would expect to continue to happen. Unless the COT report says, actually, they flip the other way. And then what we would expect to happen is something to go back the other way. Yeah. So this is why all this data is on there. That's a brief overview of the fundamentals and what you need to know about them, basically. But at the end of the day, if you follow COT, yeah, and if you go against retail, and the reason you're going against retail is because what typically happens if retail goes short is the COT guys will go and grab their money. Yeah. So when these two, when you've got COT going long and retail going short, that gives us a +2 because we want to be going long. Yeah. So when you get a +6, there's a high probability of that going up. So you don't really need to know all of this. But what you do need to know is, when is this likely to change? When is an impact going to happen that could mean that for what we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks could suddenly be, oh my God. Yeah. Look at this as a prime example. Oh, sorry, pound US dollar, where are we? Yeah. Actually, let's look at the hourly. It's more impacted, isn't it? Hang on. Let me make this really impactful. There we go. Euro US dollar. Been driving. Fed comes out and says, we are expecting unemployment to be better than we thought. And that means we're going to put our interest rates up more, which makes us more attractive. Boom. Unemployment figures come out much better than expected. Boom. This is what we call a fundamental shift. Yeah, the fundamentals were pointing at us wanting to long the euro against the US dollar. Suddenly, something's changed in the US dollar economy, which means that the Fed is going to be more bullish, and that drives us the other direction. Yeah, which is shown in the key fundamentals and in the bias scorecard. Yeah, euro US dollar, big sell. Fundamentals are all saying we should be shorting this now. Previously, it was saying range bound to long. Yeah, so that's why it's all there. Make sense? It's really complicated. If you really want to know about this, you need to go to university and do an economics degree, and in which case then you'll get a 25 grand job in a bank when you get out after 4 or 5 years. So we don't need to know all this crap. We do need to know, though, when this crap is likely to change. And tomorrow, they could say something that is going to change it. That GDP figure could mean that the pound is a lot more bullish than we thought, because we were expecting it to be a 0.1 increase. If it comes out as a 0.6 increase, it's like, well, hey, pound is doing better, or economy is doing better, rather. If those figures come out as way bigger than expected, the Canadian dollar will tank, because it means that the unemployment rate's going up. Unemployment rate, same thing. Yeah, if we get a 3.2, i.e. it's come down, the Fed can put the interest rates up more, which means that that makes the US dollar more attractive and everything will come down against the US dollar. Yeah. So this is why I'm saying today, whatever you take today on the US dollar and the CAD, you have a 50-50 shot tomorrow of either it going up or down. So analysis goes out the window. Technicals are great. Technicals are only great when there's not a massive news event that could potentially drive this in one direction or the other. Lovely little area down here for potentially getting a bounce. Yeah, everyone's longed it there. Everyone's longing it now, aren't they? And if unemployment comes out as a lower than expected number tomorrow, then that's going to happen. If it comes out as a higher than expected number tomorrow, we're going to hit that propulsion gap. If it comes out as an expected, what we'll probably do is push to the propulsion gap and then drop. But how could you possibly know? Which is why I don't use a stop loss. I use positions. I get into positions, because if I'm going long on this, expecting that, and tomorrow it does that, I can go long again, wait for it to do that and get out. And it does that every time we get extended, which is why we use this. Yeah. Makes sense? All covered in the bootcamp. Well, the fundamentals aren't, because that's something just not covered in the bootcamp. I thought I was the only one who didn't like MT5. No, you're not. Nobody does, yeah? I sell indicators on the MQL5 marketplace. Over 90% of the sales are MT4. So I know for a fact that nobody likes MT5, which is why I just don't use it, because it's crap, yeah? Look at me. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? Look, I'm sitting here on an M15 chart with exactly the same indicators on as I've got an MT5, and I go over to that pair, it loads. I go to that pair, it loads. I switch timeframes, it's fine. Go over here on the M15 timeframe, and I switch pair. What's it doing? You know, it's just like, it sits there and it has a little dance for a bit. It's not doing it as much now, is it? It was doing it a lot more than that. Look how slow it is. Like, I've switched. It's just crap. Look, what's it doing? I don't know. I just don't like it. Don't like it. US dollar CAD, I'm in short. So this is why you wait for candle close, people, and you don't use pending orders. Yeah, this is why I have the market reversal alert EA, so that I do not do things like this. Yeah, this is not a reversal alert. This is not a structure break. This was a rejection of a structure break. However, I am now short because I'm a divvy. But that's because I can't use EAs on this platform, unfortunately. Fiddle Crest don't let you use EAs. So anyway. John Wick in theatres soon. Yes, he is. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Although he won't be trading with his dog. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see in the new John Wick film him sitting at a computer with his new dog, with a couple of Forex charts up. That would make my century, that would. How about pound yen? Right, pound yen. I mean, I'm short everything pound, basically, just because the pound is weak. So everything, pretty much everything pound. Yeah, so that's the only one that is against pound. This is all pound against. Yeah, it's either massive sell or it's a range bound with a negative. The ones that are positives are only positive really because we've got either a neutral or a positive retail sentiment, which this changes on an hourly basis. So these can all go short very quickly. So euro pound obviously is long, which means it's a short pound. So I'm short everything pound, regardless. So I'd be looking for short opportunities on that. We have, however, got this massive propulsion gap up here, which we, I think, are going to struggle to get back to. We had a 2 ADR move off of that. Was it 2 ADR? No, 150 ADR, and then we had another ADR move the following day. So this has dropped massively. And since then, literally all we've done is accumulated and then dropped again. So every propulsion gap is retested to the upside. So yeah, I just like it as a short. So you would want to get in on an RSI extension. That was the last one. We haven't had one. So there's not been an entry opportunity on this for me at all. That was the entry opportunity. There's two. It's one there and one there. So if we get a push up into there, I would probably scale in. However, if I got in there, I would expect to get that movement. So you'd have to scale into a few moves to get the move down. The yen as well, obviously, again, remember what's happening on Friday, tomorrow. Yeah, Bank of Japan monetary policy statement. Anything you get into yen today, if you're not out of it by the end of today, you're going to have an ADR hit potentially on all Japanese pairs by the morning. Yeah, so we come in tomorrow morning and this will be lit up like a Christmas tree on all the yen pairs. Probably. It may not be. He may say absolutely nothing. But, you know, this is news, yeah? News is so unpredictable. You can't tell what is going to happen. Like yesterday, we were expecting some really serious movement yesterday on the CAD rate. And then we had Powell testifying. And look at what the CAD did yesterday. Yeah. That's what we got. Yeah. Look at ADR. ADR is miles away. We just didn't get anything. So, you know, this is the overnight rate. This is the interest rate on the CAD, but it came out as expected. But what we didn't get from the statement was any forward guidance on what they're planning to do. So what's the market doing? Well, it's sitting there at the moment going twiddling its thumbs because it's got no clue which way this is going. So we don't move. There's nothing you can do. Yaman, when I listen to you talking about Fidelcrest prop firm, what is the meaning of bonus with the first payout? Their customer support is horrible. Never reply. Is it? Oh. I don't know because this is my first evaluation with Fidelcrest, and as at the moment, it looks like I'm not going to get past. But this is stage 2, so this is the challenge stage. So with Fidelcrest, I'm on this. I'm actually already in the payment. I'm funded basically. So I am here. I'm on the verification, not that one. I'm on this verification stage. So I passed that. So I'm here now. So I've got a 5% profit target, and they give me 40% of that. So when I get to $500, they're gonna give me $220 or something, which is woohoo. I don't know what the bonus is. I think it's about, is it $100 or $200 or something? I know there is a bonus, but basically when you take your first payment, you get that bonus, whatever it is. Where is it? Their website's not very good, is it, for actually explaining stuff? Sign up commission. That's it, isn't it? That's what they call it. Sign up commission. So I will get, right. Okay. No, sign up commission is your payout. That's the 40%. Get your first profit split is in only 11 days of trading, plus a 200 bonus with your, right. So there you go. You get 200 bonus. So I will get $200. Hang on. No. Right. That, I think, is that. Isn't it? Because it doesn't show anywhere here. I don't know. It's complicated. I don't honestly know. I don't honestly care. I'll get what I get given, won't I? So this is my first time with Fidelcrest. I've never traded with Fidelcrest before, so I don't actually know much about them. All my accounts are with my Forex funds and EA, so I really don't know about it much. We'll find out, won't we? I'm gonna start getting a little bit more aggressive on this account. Just want to get this over the line, really, if I can. Got to be careful though with my risk because I've only got a $500 drawdown, which ain't a lot. Thanks for the explanation. No one else gives this type of analysis. No, because I'm unique. Big Papa. Another reason people are not working is they quit because companies either can't find enough manpower or cutting down labor costs, which ended up with the current employees' workload double up. Oh, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't pay much attention to whys and whens. You know, doesn't matter. For me, my perspective, if it comes out as that, I know what I'm going to get. If it comes out as that or that, I know what's going to happen. That's all I need to know. I don't care why. There's nothing you can do about it. This is why I don't vote. I do vote every now and again. If there's something I really think, yeah, I'm in for that. But most of the time I don't vote. I don't get involved in politics because it doesn't matter who you put in charge. They will do the same thing. Yeah. Basically, they say they're going to do one thing and then they realize they can't do it and then they don't. And then they smoke and mirrors it and do something else and focus on something else and draw your attention somewhere else. And every party that gets in does the same thing, don't they? So I think was Richie Sunak's at the moment. I keep laughing every time it comes on the screen. Richie Sunak's got 5 pledges at the moment. He's got a 5-point target or something. He set out 5 things that he is going to do. One of them is to halve inflation. Yeah. He hasn't said when. I can see this halving definitely sometime in the next decade too, Richie. Why don't you tell us when you're going to halve it by, mate? And how the hell are you going to do it? Because your interest rates are at 4, you're about to go up to 4.5, and this thing ain't coming down. How are you going to do it? I'm going to halve inflation. No, you're not. Look at it. It's ridiculous. You are not halving that in the time that you will be in government. It's just rubbish. It's all political BS, basically, isn't it? Right, that's all the analysis done today. We haven't got any ADRs. We're not moving anywhere because we're waiting for non-farm payroll day. So anything else you want to look at? What's the website called? Well, my website, Market Structure Trader. There's loads of links flying past you in the chat. There's loads of links flying past you. I'll send you a link. I'll just copy this one. That one. There you go. There's a link. There's the website. I'll give you an update on the sentiment EA as well in a minute. And what's going on with that. Morning, Miami Dave. Good name. Are you in Miami? I wish I was in Miami. Actually, I don't. They've got a lot of guns there, haven't they? Did this guy used to be Pips Don't Lie? Who, me? No. Isn't that Roger Banks? Wasn't he Pips Don't Lie? I don't know. I don't know who was Pips Don't Lie. Oh no. Wanna scalper? 58 subscribers. That's not him, is it? Wanna scalper? Pips Don't Lie. I have no idea. Don't know who that is. I thought Roger Banks was he not? No, he was Wicks Don't Lie, wasn't he? No, he was Wicks Don't Lie. He still is Wicks Don't Lie, isn't he? I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm not Pips Don't Lie. I don't know who that is. Not me. I'm the market structure trader. I've been around for years. You just haven't found me. Welcome aboard. You have now. Someone joined, didn't they? Tiger, welcome aboard. And Alinafi, welcome aboard. And Lauren has just subscribed as well. Morning, Neo. You're late again. Did you use full automation? Yeah. So basically, all of my trades that I take, all my position trades are taken using the Market Reversal Alerts EA. Yeah. So that I have VPS running with many strategies running on it. So this is full automation to execute the strategies that are shown on the website, basically. So these are all running the various set files and various strategies. This one's running H1 mean reversion trades. This one's running hedging. Oh, it took a hit this week. Look, 6 grand. Still 14 grand up, but it took a 6 grand hit this week. Obviously on the news, yeah? Doesn't matter what you do. If you're hedging, when a news event comes out, you're guaranteed to bank some profit, but you're also guaranteed to go into serious drawdown, aren't you? We ended up yesterday with the sentiment EA banking $900. This is one of the things I'm testing, drawdown. Interested to see what sort of drawdown we get into. Obviously, it depends on the settings with the sentiment EA, but at the moment, it's getting into fairly heavy drawdown. You can see the exposure. Look. It's getting very, very heavily exposed on some stuff. But obviously being sentiment, what I saw yesterday, this went up to about 3.5% yesterday, and then it flew back to literally break even within 2 hours. So you're going to get a lot of swings on this, I think. Obviously, the whole point of sentiment is they're taking liquidity, they're stop hunting people. So you're going to get a lot of movement on these trades, I think. So I'm just I'm letting this run just to see exactly what it does. But I've also found a bit of an issue with it. Yeah, there. It hasn't done it there because the sentiment isn't right. Yeah, so this is something we've got to deal with. When the sentiment shifts and we're in a position, what do we do? At the moment, I'm just doing drawdown control, waiting for sentiment to shift back the other way. But if it doesn't shift, I don't quite know how to deal with these. So this is why this is running on a live test. I'm trying to figure out the best way to deal with negative trades. But don't know. New Zealand dollar yen MPA. I think I've covered. No, I haven't covered this one. So you've got a very obvious support level we're coming up to here, which we're kind of in at the moment. Yeah. So this is either a bounce or we're going to flush down to, I would say we're more likely to flush down to there. Yen strength. Short. What's the sentiment on it? On one. I haven't got it open. Neutral. More long. So it's coming down. Obviously, there's more long sentiment. There's more long retailers. They're all longing this, basically. So the reason there's 60% of the market is longing this at the moment is because they're all buying up this. Yeah. They're all being stopped out. So they're buying it again. So the likelihood is we're going to flush down, I would say, to this propulsion at ADR. When we get down to there, we'll probably push back up into that. Roger is wicks don't lie. Yeah, that's right. Diamond. Yeah. Pips, I've never heard of Pips don't lie. He's obviously trying to jump on the back of wicks don't lie, isn't he? Unsuccessfully by the look of his subscriber count. What time frame do you determine propulsion gaps? Propulsion gaps. Yeah, like all time frames. Propulsion gaps appear on all time frames. I like the hourly. It's just kind of a. I think the hourly is a kind of a sweet spot. Yeah. Hourly is, I think, is by far the best time frame to trade, either hourly or 4 hourly. I mean, you just look at it. Yeah. They work beautifully. Yeah. And it's very rare that you find you get one orphaned. And what I mean by orphaned is one we just don't get back to. So, but obviously they're everywhere. They're M15. Yeah. There's one there on M15. There's one there on M15, an old one. And there, retest, retest, retest. That one's been tested twice. That one's not been touched, but it's tiny. So, you know, when you're looking on lower time frames, you're always getting more chop. The more chop you get, the less accurate any system, strategy, or theory is going to become. Yeah. So whenever you go down to a low time frame, you're going to find that it's just not going to work as well. And the higher up you go, the more things start to play out as expected, because you're not seeing all of the tiny fractal chop in the market, which is causing you to see systems playing out fast. However, you're not realizing how many of those system and strategy entries and exits are failing. Higher time frames like the hourly and the 4 hourly, you've got a real understanding of that is a huge intervention from the yen, a huge move from Japan. We need to pay attention to it. If you look at that on the lower time frames, you'd see that inside that. But this gives you a good view of what's really going on in the market. We had an accumulation here and we went into a price discovery mode, big propulsion move. The buyers flew into this. There was 2 times they put in very large orders in the market. The second time we came down and they added back into their positions. The third time we came down, they added back into their positions. They eventually got overrun and they added back into their positions there. Yeah, it's just so much clearer. Less signals, less things to look at. This is why we use the 4-hour reversal alerts. And, you know, the strategy we were talking about earlier, where you just take every lower time frame reversal after you've got that, you've got much more chance of it working, because we know when that structure break is in, we're likely to do that. Yeah. Until we get a structure break in the other way, then we think we might want to go back the other way. 4-hour, 80 RSI extensions on the 4-hour. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Look at 80 RSI extensions on the 5 minute. I can't go back very far. I'll have to turn that off. Yeah. You did get a little pop there, didn't you? Got one there as well. Right there. That failed spectacularly. Yeah. RSI extended to the downside. Little bit of movement, but actually failed spectacularly. Downside. Little bit of movement, actually failed spectacularly. Downside. That's actually probably a broker candle, but you got a little bit of movement, failed spectacularly. You don't see failed spectacularly on the hourly and the 4 hourly timeframes from an RSI 80 extension. Just doesn't happen. Yeah. Extended. Pop. That should have gone down. It didn't. It went up because we're trading chop. Systems and strategies on the 5 minute and the 15 minute time frame are much, much, much less reliable than you will find on the higher time frames. It's just fact. That's just the way the market is. You know, you're going to see a clearer picture here than you will on other time frames, which is why we use H1 for our analysis and we use M5 for our entry. We use H4 for our analysis. We use M15 for our entry, or M5, up to you. I'm finding actually H4, M5 is just as good, if not a little bit better now at the moment, because everything's contracted at the moment. The ADRs are short at the moment. We've got very, very contracted market. So I think the H4, M5 is just as good. But it's all explained on the site. So just go to, the best thing to watch is the bootcamp. If you want to learn how I trade and the way I see the market. So we've got all these other free training videos in here, which explain everything about what I would class as the basic stuff you need to know, and everything else is just fluff. Don't bother about it. And then the bootcamp is, now you've learned all this fluff, stop doing what everyone else is doing and do this. But obviously everyone can do it in a different way. I thought you did something with him previously. With Pips Don't Lie. No, it wasn't me. Or Wicks Don't Lie. I've done nothing with anybody. I don't have time to do anything with anybody. I've never been anywhere. I've never been on any shows, podcasts. I literally am here for 2 or 3 hours a session. So I'm in here for between 4 to 8 hours a day streaming. So someone would have to book me in for a slot. If you know anyone who wants to book me in for a slot, that's fine. I don't mind doing it. But all I'll get is a load of people hating me because everyone will go, oh, he doesn't use a stop loss. He's going to blow his account. Ah, you use a stop loss. You're going to make a loss all the time. I can't win. You can't win. I can't win. That's why I don't bother with anybody else, because I can't win. Yeah. No stop loss, green. Stop loss, red. Stop loss, red. No stop loss, green. I can't argue with myself, can I? Even I can't. Even I prove my theories. Tim the Money. If sentiment shifts, will it just start automatically looking for trades in the opposite direction, so hedging your initial trade? Yes, it will. Yeah, at the moment. But this is the thing. Just bank some more money. Look, that's not nice. So there's nothing hedged there, is there, at the moment? No, there's nothing hedged at the minute. But yeah, it will hedge. Because but with the sentiment for sentiment to shift from a 75 long to a 25 long, or a 75 short, if you like, that will, I mean, I've been looking at the historical data. I've spent a fair bit of time analyzing the last 3 months of data that I've collected. That shift takes usually around about 48 hours. It doesn't happen intraday. So what happens is you get into a position, it goes against, you get into a position, sentiment shifts neutral, you're in 2 positions, and then if it goes back against you, by the time it's got to the point where it's going to take another trade in the opposite direction, which will then tend to work out anyway, you are so lost behind these two, you never get back out of them. So that's what I'm trying to figure out by just running this and saying, just get in, see what happens. I want to see where we get to with drawdown. I want to see how many positions it ever gets into. And the problem is, obviously, what do you do when sentiment shifts? Do you just bank a loss? I don't know. I'm just not into banking losses. I'd much rather do drawdown control, because that's a steady loss and it allows you then to get back out of these trades. So all this stuff it banked here yesterday, you look at the amounts it banked. We had 260, 180, 280, 190, $10, $46, $32, $198, 217, 11.52. Yeah, so it's banking small amounts, because I'm saying at the end of the day, just close it if you've got money, yeah? And then have a check next candle, and are we still sentiment extended? Yes, right, jump in again then. That's basically what it's being told to do. But the drawdown control is not outweighing the banking by any shade. But what I want to see is, how deep is it going to get? Because don't forget, if we're trading against sentiment, and this is the thing that I'm working on here, is if we're trading against sentiment on the euro yen, for example, let's look at this one. It's a good example. We're $1,100 in drawdown, right, at the moment. It's going against us. 62% of the market are still short. When I got in, we were 75% short, 77% short, and 76% short. Yeah. So when I was getting in, 77% of the market was short. So from that one, I didn't have an exit. From that one, I did at that point. But when I decided to check for profit, it wasn't. Then we got in here and now it's dropping. So you can see that I did actually have an exit on this. So if I had been using, instead of a daily close, if I had been using a 4-hour close, i.e. check if I've got a profit every 4 hours, I'd have been out of that with profit and I wouldn't be sitting in $1,100 a drawdown at the moment. So this is the analysis I'm doing. I need to find out whether or not we need to be getting in and out a lot faster than daily. But daily allows you to bank. Again, you know, it's like you're going to get huge days. Remember, when sentiment goes correctly, we get that, right? I'm just trying to think of a good sentiment one at the moment that's going parabolic. CAD yen ADR. Oh, you're kidding. Typical. This, if ever you want a reason why you don't use a stop loss, right? There it is. Yeah. I used a trailing stop loss. What did it do? Stop me out. What is a stop loss? We now call it a take profit, a stop profit, don't we? Yeah. It's a stop profit order. Even if you're in the money, right? And you put a trailing stop profit order on there, what does it do? It stops you making profit. I got out there. I could have made more profit. It's hit my target. Why don't I listen to myself? I never listen to myself. Sorry, so what was I talking about? Yeah, so the sentiment. I'm just trying to find a sentiment that is strong. So CAD Swiss. US dollar yen. So we got really strong yen today. CAD Swiss. Yeah, so the CAD Swiss, basically 97% of the market are longing this at the moment. Yeah. Boom. And they have been, as we know, the CAD Swiss has been along for days, absolutely days now. So when you get into these, the EA is going, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, can't get out, get in again, get out, get in, I'm in. Yeah, that's what it's doing. So it's in the CAD Swiss short now. Bloody hell, where are we? It's got to be one that's in profit, isn't it? There you go. So there's a CAD Swiss, right? So it's in now. It's doing exactly what I just said. Yeah, it has been doing it for days. It's been just banking and banking and banking on the CAD Swiss. Yeah, look. 10, 6, 6, 3, 4, 3. Yeah, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in. Can't get out. Okay, get in again, get out, get in, I'm in. Yeah. So when you get these, they bank. It just banks and banks and banks and banks and banks. So the question we have is, what do we do when the sentiment shifts against us and we're in one that we can't get out? That's the question I'm trying to answer. This is what this test is doing, basically. How much trouble are we going to get into, and how quickly is it going to get us out of that trouble? And when it does get us out of that trouble, why is it getting us out? Is it getting us out because sentiment has shifted back our way? And if so, we don't really need to ever care about this. And all we're doing, if you think about it, is riding market structure waves. All we're doing is we're making sure we're riding market structure waves against sentiment. So it's the same thing. We are going to take drawdown. It's as if the RSI was extended and we got in long and it went embedded. Price goes down, we get in long again, we get out. Same thing. We take drawdown, same way. So that's what I'm hoping the sentiment EA is going to be able to perform. But do we do it on the 1 day or do we do it on the H4? Because the H4 will get you out with smaller profits, but it will get you out more regularly when you've got multiple positions on. Yeah, so right now, Aussie dollar yen is a really good example, yeah? We've got 2 positions on the Aussie dollar yen. They're both in profit. Right now, we can bank 0.3%. Yeah? If today, the Aussie dollar yen does that, and comes back up to there, it won't bank because there's no profit. If that then shifts to 56%, the long shifts to 56% over the next 24 hours, this thing won't take another trade and could do that. If we'd have banked on the 4-hour candles, we'd have been out there with a profit. We just would have stuck 0.2% or something in the bank. We're hoping that we're in profit at the end of day. But again, it's the same as anything, isn't it? You've got no control. I'm on this, sure. I don't know if this train is going to continue down here 200% ADR today. If it does, happy days. It's what it's been doing. But we've only got into it. We've only started getting into it there because this is where the retail sentiment started to go long. Why did the retail sentiment go long? Because it had popped down. What's everybody trying to do? Catch the falling knife. What can't anybody do? Catch a falling knife. They get stopped out. This is what happens. We go long and everyone goes, why is it every time I go long I get stopped out? Well, because you're an idiot. Yeah. So that's the question. And I'm trying to do this. So I want to run this for a week or two and I want to see what happens because I can't back test. I've got to forward test. And then I want to run the same test again with a 4-hour and see what the difference is by running it on a 4-hour. I should actually start a new account, shouldn't I, and run them parallel. But yeah, it's going well. Yeah, I mean, we've banked 6 grand. We're sitting in 5 grand a drawdown at the moment, but that changes so fast, and it's going to bank another $1,000 today, easy. But this is the thing that I'm worried about. But I am running it on every single currency, obviously, so the exposure is obviously going to be huge, isn't it? If we get a news event that goes in line with sentiment, it's going to be in a little bit of pain. But anyway, it's a work in progress. But we know it works. It's just a case of how do we know it works. We can prove it works. We've seen the data works. It's just how the hell do we extract the money from it? That's the test I'm running. There's always a way to get the money out. It's just a case of figuring it out. Bunker, I try to backtest in different ways your strategies. I can find way to go full automated. You can share one set file which you use on full automated. They're all on the website. Yeah, go to the website for the Market Reversal Alerts EA. You will find a link to starter set files and test results. This page shows you the strategies running and a video. Explanation. This is a really good video actually for understanding my strategies because it's me going through them and pinpointing what the EA is doing, why it's doing it, how it's doing it, when it's banking. Yeah. So this is a good, and it goes through each strategy one by one. This is the ADR reversals strategy. Yeah. So this is a good one to watch. But on that page, you've got all the strategies detailed out in the very much in the way that they are on the website. Yeah, so they're all explained in intricate detail. I mean, they're very simple and a standard backtest result for the strategies. And then at the bottom, there's a link to the set files, which you just download. So they're all there. Yeah. And these are all, you can put them all on full automation. That's basically what is running on here. Yeah. This is ADR reversals, bank 21 grand. This is mean reversion, H4 M5, 89. 89. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? 8,900. This is H1 M5, bank 96. This is hedge. This is again another experiment I'm running for another reason. This is banked 15 grand, but it's in 29 grand of drawdown because it's running on everything. I'm testing drawdown. This is a stress test, if you like. I'm testing max drawdown limits based on ADR based drawdown control. Yeah, so this is I'm stress testing max drawdowns. So I'm wanting to see what we get into. So 3.5. I think that's the biggest so far now. So I'm checking this every 4 or 5 hours just to see where we get into. Because I'm looking to run this on an hourly strategy which I'm developing. Same thing, same process, just on an hourlies. M5 or M15 is better for trading? That's an open question. How can I possibly answer that question? Think about the question. Is M5 or M15 better for trading? Let's answer it, right? So, which button have you pressed? And when did you press it? So, the answer to your question is, if you pressed that button there, it was good. If you pressed that button there, it was bad. If you'd have pressed these buttons on that time frame there, if you'd have pressed that button, the result would have been good. If you'd have pressed that button, the result would have been bad. Yeah. Does it really make any difference? The time frame has nothing to do with the outcome of your trades at all. If you press it on that button, if you press the button on that time frame or that time frame, the outcome is the same. When you press the button, it will go in that direction or that direction over a period of time. Which time frame you look at and press the button on has got nothing to do with anything. Analyze always on these time frames. Whether you execute there or there or there doesn't make any difference. If your analysis is there and you take a signal from one of these time frames, you're at the mercy of the market's direction. So it doesn't matter which time frame you execute on, does it? The one you prefer, but make sure you've got a decent distance between your analysis time frame and your entry time frame. That's the only thing you need to focus on. Tim, I'm in CAD yen long from 99.94 H1M15. I've just got out of CAD yen short, but yeah, I like it. It's a good trade. Now it is. You got an M15 reverse alert. When did you get that? Oh, here. Yeah. Cool. That'll do. You're in from 99.94. I need to change my lines to make them thicker. What? 99.94. Whoa, you're up here somewhere. Oh, Jesus, I can't read. These drugs are just so annoying. 99.94. There. Right, so that's your entry up there, yeah? On H4M15. Right, so yesterday, I assume is where you got in. There was no extension on the RSI yesterday. Why did you get in an H4 M15 long when there was no condition indicated giving you we should start looking for longs yet? Not taking second position yet. Almost did yesterday, but unfortunately didn't. Waiting for setup. Sentiment, not the best position for this, but COT and retail is okay. Yeah. So you basically got in early. I would say you were more likely got in on H1M5 because H1 you had an extension yesterday, but H4 you didn't. So that's fine. That's valid. So you got in there. No problem. Half an ADR is 40 pips. So anywhere from there onwards, you could have taken another reversal alert. So you should have taken one really here today. So you got 1, 2, somewhere in here. You probably would have got one maybe in there, but I'm not sure that would be 40. That might be too close. But if you're getting one ADR away, which is a safer way to do it, that's 80, which is there anyway. So this is where you got in. So you should have a second position on. However, if you haven't now, I would get one on the next M5 reversal alert because we've hit ADR. So if you've got in there and you haven't taken a second position yet, as you said, this will be your second position here on this M5 reversal alert, or there or wherever. Yeah, we've made a new low. Zoom in and have a look. Yeah, so your reverse this candle, this reversal alert support rectangle is going to jump down onto that candle. As soon as this candle closes, that's going to be your reversal. So that's your entry at 100 ADR. So that's your second entry you're going to take, which is going to now be roughly there, somewhere around here. So if you look at it, your average is going to be, if you're using the same lot size, obviously, your average is going to be there, which is within an ADR, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, so entry 1, entry 2, which is nice because it's an ADR. You're trading basically an ADR apart, which is a much nicer, safer way, but slower to get out. So the less entries you take, the slower it is, the more difficult it is for you to get out of the trade quickly. And you need a bigger move. But you're going to go into a lot less drawdown. So I would have been in there, I'd have been in there, and I would also now be going in down here somewhere. So I'd be in 3. My average would be in exactly the same place as your average is, except I would be in more drawdown. But there's nothing you can do about this. It's just going that way. But it's now H4 extended. Well, H1 is now below 20. Yeah. So it's very, very, very extended. So it's due a pullback from here. H4 is now extended on the RSI as well. And you are also, oh no, you've missed that. So I was going to say there was some support coming up, but that was at ADR. Look. So the next area of balance where we are likely to find something is there. So you're looking at roughly an ADR. So, you know, your average is around ADR. So your average is there. You're in there. You're in getting in somewhere around here soon. That's going to be your average. Worst case scenario is you're going to need to pull down to there, which is another ADR away. So when you get down to here, you can take another entry. If that does this parabolic straight into this propulsion gap, you're going to find buyers. This thing is going to be exhausted and you're going to get an elastic band ping back to get out. So it's not the end of the world. You're only in 2 positions, yeah? I get into 3, 4, 5 positions. No problem. You just got to wait. Patience. It seems like it's never going to happen, especially when it's parabolic like this. Yeah. You seem like it's never going to happen. Everybody that went long there, no, not that you would, saw this candle come down and went, oh my God, what happened next? Oh. You know, oh my God, I'm short. Oh, that's all right. Oh my God, I'm long. Never mind. Just got to wait. It's time. The market will take profit on that move at some point, and you will be on that long. If you're using the 1.3 multiplier, your first entry is there. Your second entry at 1.3 is there, which means your break even will actually be somewhere like this. Yeah, which is why I like the 1.3 multiplier, because it just gets you out that little bit faster. And if you get a parabolic move in your favor, it gets you out with a serious, it gets you out with a lot more money, basically, because you're entering slightly larger lot sizing. Keeps your average closer. Much better for half an ADR set files. Actually, it's be better for both. If you're using 1.3, that's what the most of the set files. There's a load of profit alerts just gone off. Don't know where they were. Yeah, look at this, guys. Right, we were in 5 point something a minute ago, weren't we, on the sentiment? Look at what we're in now, 4.69. See how quick this thing changes. This intraday, don't forget what's happening with this sentiment EA is intraday, the market is going in the direction of the retail traders because their purpose is to entice the people in to the trade so that the liquidity is placed that they can grab, right? So you are always going to get squeezes on these sentiment trades as the market goes the way and everyone goes, oh, look, it's a short, look, it's a short. That changes so fast. Like I said yesterday, it was sitting in 4 point something or 3 point something. And then I looked back and it was in profit. And I was like, what? It's so quick because you're in so many positions. But look at the positions, yeah? Hardly any of the positions that make up that 4.5 are anywhere near any worry at all. They're like 0.5%, 0.25%. You get the odd one, which is 1.3%. I'm not bothered about 1.3%. It's nothing, is it? 1%. It's nothing. Yeah, one fast move back, one propulsion candle on the hourly. That's done. I'm out. Profit. So you just got to test this and see what the pain levels are. But anyway, yeah. So what I was saying was the set files. So I use the 1.3 multiplier on most of my set files, which is there. The lot size multiplier. So when I get in with 1. I then get in with 1.3. I then get in with 1.67. It would something like that. But it's not, it's not martingale. Martingale would be 1, 2, 4, 8 dead. By the time you get into 5 positions, you're just about 1.5 times your original stake. So it's not, we're just scaling into a position. We're just giving that the best chance of making money. But obviously we scale out, don't we? We do drawdown control. So it doesn't matter, does it? At the end of the day, I'm going to be getting out of these positions if they go against me with the drawdown control anyway. So it's my choice, my risk tolerance, if you like. But yeah, I like the trade still. I would just be worried about yen intervention on Friday. This is tomorrow morning. Loads of RSIs. We'll have a quick look at those in a sec. But yeah, I would just be a little bit concerned about this tomorrow morning. That could hurt. It could also make you a fortune. Not a fortune, but it could make you a lot of money, couldn't it? When buying the indicator, do I need to configure it? I don't know which indicator you're talking about. Watch the videos on the website. Every indicator has videos which goes through the settings. They all have a default, which is absolutely, just stick it on your chart as a default and it'll be fine. DAX dropping, is it? Oh, yes. Right, that OLB set file probably made a loss today, didn't it? Yeah, max loss. Oh, it's not a max loss. This is on a demo, this one. That I wanted to test that M1. I'm glad I did. That M1, I don't like it. Look, dangerous. The problem is, if you have that set on M1 to take retries of the opening range, every time you get stopped out, it's going to get back in. And if you get that happening in one 5-minute candle, you're going to get slaughtered like that did. Yeah, doesn't work. Can't use it on M1, so scrap that. Glad I wasn't running that live account. That is a hurt. So yeah, don't do that, M1. So basically, you just have to accept that sometimes if you're using the pre-market, you're going to miss it because it's just going to move too fast. Or if you're going to use the pre-market on the 1 minute, do not set it to re-enter. You just set it for single trades only. You don't set it for continuous mode. Continuous mode is not going to work. There we go. Test complete. That doesn't work. DAX a few more drastic moves from news events. I reckon the hedging portfolio will blow up. Yeah, quite possibly. Well, it won't. No, it won't. Yeah, I mean, it could blow up. It could blow up. But the thing you got to remember with the hedge one is the reason it's gone into this is because it's banking money, but it's got drawdown control. So it will scale out of all these trades, meaning that it can get out of them very quickly. So, but if we get a news event, if we get the CAD news event and the US news event both going against what the current drawdown is on these US dollars, yeah. So if the US dollar tomorrow, right, if the unemployment figures come out as positive, i.e. negative, so that the US dollar's positive, that's going to be in pain, isn't it? And the CAD, yeah, if the CAD comes out as a negative and it drives down, that's going to be in pain. So we'll watch this tomorrow. This will be interesting. But this is the experiment. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm testing. I'm testing this for the hourly. So because this is running on M5, I'm looking for the stress. This is a stress test, a real life stress test. And when I'm running this on H1, this will be slowed down by 5 to 10 times what we're seeing here, which is why I'm running it on M5. But it's not working, basically. So the whole purpose of this is to test whether or not the drawdown control settings I'm using work within the hedging set file, and they don't, is the answer. So I don't think this is going to be viable, what I'm going to try on H1, but I will run it on H1 as well. But obviously, I would never run it on every pair. So this would be contracted to, a fifth of its size or something. But so would that. So it would have made maybe 3 to 5% profit, and we'd be sitting in somewhere around 7 to 8% profit. So, but this is why I don't use the hedging set file. I don't like it. It's the worst strategy. But everybody wanted a hedging one, so I built one. And some people are using it and they're loving it, but I think they're obviously trading it in a slightly different way. But I just don't like hedging. I just don't like it. I don't think you can make money from it long term. Thanks for that analysis. Yes, my trades are slower with teeny weeny stakes needing bigger moves. Not comfortable with that. More comfortable with that, yeah. Trading your comfort level. When you're position trading your comfort level. That's more important than making money. Executing the strategy. Yeah. Seeing the strategy play out. Seeing the drawdown build. Seeing the drawdown disappear and become green and turn into that. That's what's more important. Whether that takes a day, a week, a month, or 3 months. Actually having faith in the process and realizing that this is normal. It's normal to have drawdown. Drawdown is risk. Risk is what makes you money. If you don't have risk, you don't have exposure, you don't have any chance of making any money in the market. You just got to control it. So do it the way that is more comfortable for you. Always. That's why I recommend 0.01 per thousand in the account. Because if you got $1,000 and you stick it in an account and you trade with a 0.01, you are never going to get hurt. But you will see how you are suddenly profitable. That's the key. That's the flicking the switch from the like, holy crap, this is how you do it. That's what everybody needs to figure out. And you need, if you go in too aggressive, like someone in here, was it last week, wasn't it? He was in a position in, I can't remember what it was, but it was like in 58% drawdown. And I was like, how many trades you got on? 2. I was like, how are you in 58% drawdown with 2 trades on? You must be risking 5% an entry, not like 0.2% on an entire ADR move against you. So, you know, it's just that you're not getting it. Go and watch the bootcamp again. You need to watch stuff. I need to watch. I'm the same. Yeah, you don't learn by watching something. You learn by watching something, making notes, and then rewatching it, and then getting that aha moment. It's exactly the same as when you watch a film. Yeah, you watch a film. So you watch this and you go, that's brilliant. I love it. And then you watch it again and go, oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. And then you watch it again and you think, oh, I didn't spot that last time. And all of a sudden you're like, there's more aha moments in there than I thought. You watch it all twice. Because everybody watches it on 1.25 or 1.5%, so I'm talking 3 times faster. And I talk fast anyway. And you're going to miss stuff. So you got to do it again. You got to do it multiple times. Yeah, just go and absorb it. Thanks for the follow, Rishab, I'm going to call you, I think. Sometimes I get names right. Check gold. Have I looked at gold? Yeah, I had looked at gold earlier, didn't I? Gold is a short at the moment. Sorry, one second. I was just going to see what Bunker said. Okay, did you use additional DD control on this set files? I use the set files, but in some cases I get so much drawdown. How do I control that drawdown on full automated way? Right, so the drawdown control, I will look at gold in a second, to the moon. So your drawdown control settings are in here. It's all covered in the video. Go and watch the video on the EA and skip to the bit about drawdown control. You'll see me get to this part, right? So this is set so that when we get -1 in drawdown in ADR, so when we get in and it moves 1 ADR against our position, this will automatically close 1/3 of the trade. It closes 0.3, yeah, 30%, roughly. Yeah, so it's closing 1/3 of the position out roughly. You could set it to 0.33 if you want to be super accurate, but it's closing 1/3 out. If you set that to half, 0.5, it will close half of your position out. Yeah, so if you set that to 0.75, when it gets to 0.75 of an ADR, yeah, it will start to close out whatever you set. So you can change this. You can also set it to do the drawdown control per basket of trades. So if you've got 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trades, yeah, and then it goes 1 ADR, it will close out 1/3 of that, and that at the same time. So it does it on your basket rather than on an individual trade. Up to you. But this is full automation. This is full automation, right? But with full automation, you will still sometimes need to step in. Because what you will find is you will have a trade that gets beyond your level. So this is doing automated drawdown control for me on the Euro odd. Yeah. The Euro odd. It was ADR, wasn't it? Sorry, it was ADR. Set files. Yeah, here. So on Euro odd, yeah, this is now sitting in 1.1% of drawdown. Yeah. So I did automated drawdown control on this. But what I did yesterday was I did manual drawdown control on this. I took an aggressive drawdown control position there. Yeah. And I took that aggressive position, made a profit there, and I closed out one of the trades manually. I did this. The EA didn't. Okay. So sometimes, even with an automated strategy, which this is, you are going to need to step in, because I don't know what your, and again, this is all covered in the bootcamp, I don't know what your comfort level is. Yeah, my comfort level is about 3%. This got to 2.8. And I was like, I need to do something about this. So I did something about it. It's now in 1.12 and I'm not bothered about it. CAD Swiss is now getting a bit tight. So I might have to step in and do aggressive drawdown control on that. So the EA will do a drawdown control for you. But if you let it go full auto, you will get big drawdown. It will get out. It will get out of the trades. It's unlikely to blow your account unless you're using a very large lot multiplier and no drawdown control along the way, in which case then yes, it could do. But again, this is all down to you, and you won't find any of this out until you start using it. But if you have some kind of automated drawdown control, your spacing is decent, half an ADR apart, half an ADR to an ADR, and you're not using a massive multiplier like 1.5 or 1.7 or martingale or something stupid, then all it will do is it will ride the waves, and you will get a squeeze where you go into a little bit more than you wanted to, and it will then come out of it at some point and bank the money for you. But if you're uncomfortable with 8% of drawdown, do something about it. You've got 21% banked, right? Shut the whole lot out now, walk away, and just take 14%. Yeah, that's the attitude you've got to have. I'm in 2.55% on the CAD Swiss, right? Let's look at the CAD Swiss. That's the pound Swiss. Don't look at that one. CAD Swiss. There. Yeah, so I've got these positions on. One, two, three, four. Yeah. So I've got 4 positions on, started with 1.12, sitting now at 2.47, and we're squeezing. So this is massively squeezed, look. This is ADR. So I got in on an ADR extension here, and I've scaled into the position, and I'm still down there. But look where we are now. Hourly, super extended. Yeah, no profit takes. Targets galore to the upside to come back to. This move here will have a profit take at some point. 4 hour. RSI extended to the 80 level, coming down to support. What happened last time we were here? Bang, bang, bang. What's going to happen? I've no idea. But judging on past performance, every time we get extended like this on the RSI, we get a bang, a profit take. This is a squeeze. This is a profit take. So I'm sitting in this with years of experience looking at this going, it's going to pop soon. You're sitting in this with no experience in position trading, crapping yourself. But that's because you haven't done it. But if ever you get, and this is what I say in the bootcamp, I think I say this, but I say this in here a lot. If you're uncomfortable, close it. Close one of these out. Close half of that off. Close half of that off. Leave those two. Yeah. Take a 1.2% loss. Right? And ease the pressure. And all of a sudden it's like the weight's lifted off your shoulders. I don't care. Brilliant. Fantastic. And then this average is going to be closer and you're going to get out of it faster. Yeah. But whenever you're in drawdown and you're thinking, I've got to do something about this, and I posted in a video yesterday on this exact subject on the YouTube channel. Yeah. Here. Adverts. Go away. So this is aggressive, how to perform aggressive drawdown control. So this video covers aggressive drawdown control, right? So I can take a position here now, if I want to, with a much larger lot size. So looking at the trade that we're in here, I'm in 6.95, so 7. So if I take a 3.5 long now on the CAD Swiss, I'm not going to do it on this one because I don't think there's a particular problem with that one. But if I take a 3.5 on the CAD Swiss now, my average will jump down to here somewhere. 1H4 candle, I'm out. But always, always, when you're thinking of getting out of a trade, look left. Remind yourself what happens when we get down here. What normally happens when we get down here. Yeah, and just think into the future. Project 2 days into the future. Tomorrow, Canadian unemployment. Canadian unemployment drops. What do you think is going to happen to this pair tomorrow? 200 ADR. We'll be up here. If it comes out as negative, your EA is going to do drawdown control for you and you're going to be more in the hole. But you have no choice. But the chances of it doing that are much less than that because of that. These guys are sitting here rubbing their hands at the moment, in shed loads of cash. Their P&L right now is showing dollar signs, huge money, but it's unrealized profit. The only way they can realize that profit, this is realized profit. The only way they can realize that profit is to close their positions. To close their positions, they need to become buyers. When they become buyers, everyone will see the buying moves and they will start becoming buyers and it will accelerate that position. That's the profit take move that we benefit from. They've got to put that green. Yeah. They can't sit on this forever. If it goes down tomorrow, they're going to be even more in profit. And as soon as one of these banks twitches their finger and the other banks see that money disappearing in their P&L, they're going to do the same. And it's just what happens. Yeah, it's just what happens. But you've got to sit through the crap. This is a completely different mindset to trading, to normal. And you will be uncomfortable. In all of your trades, you'll get to a level where you're uncomfortable and you just got to live with it. Yeah. 4.24 now. That makes sense. Gold you wanted to look at, didn't you? How do you control that DD on full automated way? Oh, control that DD. Yeah, sorry. I just saw an ad for a footprint chart. Oh, that's what I need. Yeah, no, you definitely need... Did I have was that an ad for a footprint chart? Was it Nirav? Is it Nirav? No. Stock Trading Pro. This guy looks like a pro, doesn't he? I've never heard of him.
All of the things you could possibly be looking at on Wall Street, only one price that matters, that tells you exactly which stocks to be involved with, exactly which stocks to buy, exactly which stocks to sell, and just as importantly, which stocks to avoid. Hi, my name is Pete Renzulli, and today I'd like to share with you how I got to this point where I have the most amazing life, but it wasn't always that way. Way back in 1999 is where it started. I was working in my family's deli out on Long Island in New York.
It's always the same, isn't it? Always the same. Sitting in front of palm trees with a beach, living the life with a laptop, trading off a laptop, making millions. It's always the same dream. Never the result. Sorry, gold I was going to look at, wasn't I? I love it when I get new adverts. I've just seen so many of them. It's just like, they're all the same. So gold is a short at the minute because it's US dollar cross. US dollar is strong, therefore this is coming down. So at the moment, obviously, we're at the mercy of tomorrow. If we get the unemployment figures that come out as a positive, i.e. unemployment has gone up, the US dollar will go down, gold will go up. If we get a positive result, i.e. they go down, unemployment figures go down, then the US dollar will go up, and that means gold will come down. But we've got more propulsion gaps to the upside on gold, but at the moment it's a sell. So you'd be looking for pullbacks to get in short. I would anyway. But as you've said, no time frame, no strategy, no indication of what you're doing, how long you're holding it for, or what on earth you're thinking of doing. I can't really give you any more than that. But you asked me to check gold. There it is. I saw something on Bitcoin yesterday. Is anybody watching? This is going to be really sad. I don't know if I should say this on stream. Is anybody watching Love Island? Is anybody watching Married at First Sight Australia? Oh, sorry. Married at First Sight Australia. There's a guy on it yesterday, and he's met his lovely woman, obviously, got married. And she's worried about his earnings. And he said, yeah, no, I started a business with a mate in England. I was like, oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's in the crypto space. So I showed my wife Bitcoin. I said, that's why he doesn't want to tell her what he does, because he's basically been buying Bitcoin. And he's in trouble. I've started a business with a mate. Oh, it's not earning any money at the moment. Why? Because we're 25 million in debt. That's basically what I'm waiting for. What's the bombshell? Yeah, we've been buying crypto. It's in the crypto space. Oh dear. You is in trouble, boy. No, it's going up. It's going up. It's going up. Yeah, everything goes up on a pullback. Bless. No, it was Nirav. Was it Nirav? Come on, Forex. I need to buy Delhi. Yeah. This is what all these ads are about, and it's brilliant. I love it. You know, and I've been sucked in so many times. No, I used to work in a deli.
Making sandwiches, roast beef, bologna,
Yeah,
cheese,
yeah.
all that kind
And
of
then
stuff.
I found
remember on a Saturday
penny
afternoon,
stocks.
I was looking out the window, and it just seemed like everybody else was free, and I was stuck. My life was stuck.
So it's always selling it, isn't it? So all these videos, they're very cleverly crafted to create the problem. The problem is I'm in a dead-end job. I'm working 9 to 5. I'm not earning any money. And everyone goes, yeah, I'm the same. And then I saw a guy out there with a Ferrari. And I was like, I wonder what he does. So you know what? I went up and asked him. And he said, I'm a stock trader. And I was like, really? And he said, here, this is all I use to make $1 million a month. It's an EA. Really? Oh. And then it goes on from there, and it solves the problem, which is you being stuck in a dead-end job. And all it does is it extracts $100 from your pocket, and you're still in that dead-end job because that thing's a con. That's the whole thing. But they've got these intricate marketing strategies now to sell the crap or the course.
Because I know that there was so much more that I.
It's always the same thing. If you're using these useless retail charts, everybody is, because that's what we're taught, you're doing it wrong. Got you. Okay, so everybody watching this video is using these useless retail charts. So if I give them something they haven't seen before because they don't trade futures, footprint chart, they'll come and buy my course. But they'll still be stuck in their dead-end job, and they will still be using useless retail charts because all a footprint chart is a retail chart with prices inside it where the volume's been placed. Yeah, that's Nirav's approach. Everybody's got exactly that. I can unpick every single advert and tell you why it doesn't work and why it's a waste of time and money. But anyway, I'll stop talking now. Slagging off everybody's adverts. I don't advertise. Maybe I should start. Hey guys, check out the live stream of Desi Traders. There is a trade running in there. You must check it out. Ankit. Ah, you're banned, mate. Bye-bye. You're just basically trying to flog something. You're exactly what I'm talking about. Idiots. You're gone. Yes, forced to watch with wife. Saw the crypto guy. Yeah. I really want to know what he does. He still haven't said it, has he? The problem is he won't tell her what he does or what he earns. There's obviously something wrong, isn't there? And if it's in the crypto space, you know it's obviously going wrong because crypto's dead. So he's dead. Do you check the currency strength meter? Nope. I can see the currency strength meter on the chart. Give me any pair and I'll tell you what the currency strength meter says. At the moment, Swiss yen. M15 currency strength meter says Swiss is weak, yen is strong. Currency strength meter says euro and US dollar are both in the middle somewhere. Currency strength meter says the same for the New Zealand US. For the pound yen, it says the pound is weak, the yen is strong. You've got a currency strength meter right in front of your face. You don't need a chart or that thing to tell you. There's one on here in Financial Juice. Look. There it is. Yeah, it's telling you that the yen is strong. I know the yen's strong. Why do I know the yen's strong? Because everything's coming down against the yen. This thing is pointless. All it does is it's an indicator. Every indicator in the world tells you what has happened and what you can see painted by these candlestick things. Yeah. This is telling me the yen's strong. Yeah, I know. It's coming down. You can see it on my chart. I can also tell you that the retail market at the moment is long pound yen. I haven't even looked at it, but I can tell you that the retail guys are long pound yen at the moment. If it ever loads. I'm probably going to get this wrong now, aren't I? Oh, they're in the middle. They're in the middle. Well, they're not short, put it that way, are they? Because it's coming down. That's a bad guess. Right, I'm going to go now. There's nothing much else to cover today. If you need anything, I'll be in the Telegram group as usual. I'll be back this afternoon at 2:20. We will trade the US session. No news. Be aware of the 1:30 news on the unemployment claims, though. We might get some movement off of that. Unlikely, but we might do. So we'll see how that one goes. I've got to bank some profit somehow on these accounts. So I'm going to get in some aggressive positions, I think, on this Fiddle Crest. Not too aggressive, sort of 0.75% to 1% risk on a couple of entries this afternoon and see if I can get that target hit. Because I want to see what they do with their payouts. And this one's obviously just on its way. This is a 3-step challenge, this one, which is really annoying, but I'm giving it a go. So yeah, we'll be back this afternoon. We'll trade the NASDAQ, the Dow as usual, and see if we can get some movement. I'm not expecting a big session this afternoon because of obviously tomorrow all the news is coming. So we will see what happens then. All right, guys. So leave a thumbs up before you go. If you can, that'd be great. It just helps more people come into the stream, really, which is great. More chat, more waffle, more fun. Okay, I'll see you this afternoon if you're around. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time, for the Frankfurt session. Have a good one.